myself, what a wonderful world. What a wonderful.
This is my official apology for over-romanticizing my job. A lot of people are a little frustrated, especially Cold Stone employees, because they say that I misrepresent what this job is. So this is what it's really like to work at Cold Stone. You run around and do a million things and multitask like crazy. This is me making an online order with 3 ice creams while also making waffles. So you gotta get creative. I scoop 3 ice creams, I mix 2 at one time, and then I have to run over and get my waffles before they burn. And then you eventually learn just to touch the waffle irons and just not care about your fingers. Then it's time to roll both of those up, throw them in their cone sleeves. I hope this makes it up to all of you, because if you watched the live earlier, you saw that I got a phone call and then I ended up having to get off. Well, that was because 2 things happened. I got this cake order for a little petite cake, and because Anthony came in, it was time for me to train him. They wanted chocolate ice cream with M&Ms in it and then chocolate cake. And so I hurried up and made that, and then they wanted me to put ganache on the outside, which I was thankful for because you guys have been asking for a ganache cake and I haven't had any in a while. And then sprinkles on the side, which the sprinkles and the dark color of the ganache look great together. And then they wanted some M&Ms on top, and then all they wanted me to write was number 7. And that was it. Hey guys, it's Wednesday. Today I had a customer come in and they wanted a founder's favorite, but they wanted it with cheesecake ice cream. So we scooped that out for them and we're gonna go put it on the stone. Once we have it on the stone, we're gonna add our 2 figure eights of caramel, 2 figure eights of fudge, then our pecans, and then our brownie. Then we're gonna be into chop, fold. Then we're gonna hug it into a ball and put it in the cup. Once we got it in the cup, we're gonna put a spoon in it and hand it to our customer. And I guess he wanted it as a shake, so we're gonna take that out and put it back on the stone and begin to take our ingredients out. Once we got that all separated out, we're gonna take out our brownie, our pecans, then our fudge, and then our caramel. This happens sometimes, but you just have to be patient and have fun. You're working with ice cream, it's not that big of a deal. We take that back over to the Gia, and then we're gonna go start our shake. We need to put some milk in the blender, and then our ice cream, and then our toppings. Once we have everything in the blender, we're gonna go blend that up. We're gonna pour it in the cup, and then ask if they want whipped topping, and then hand it to the customer. It's only Monday, but you would think it was the weekend. We've been getting tons of custom cake orders. And Jalen's birthday was a few days ago, so she's still out of town. So here I am, making another cake. This one they wanted cake batter ice cream with sprinkles in it. Once that's mixed together, we're gonna split that in half and put half the layer in the cake pan. Smooth that all out, then add our cake, and then our mid layer of fudge. And then our second layer of ice cream, and then second layer of cake. Then you know the drill, it's gonna go take a nap in the blast. Then we're gonna depan it and then decorate it. They wanted some fluffy purple frosting. Once that's all smoothed out, it's time to put the sprinkles on the side. Then they wanted it topped with duos. So I did 8 rosettes and 8 duos. Then it's time to write on it. They wanted happy birthday and then a special message. Once we're done, we're gonna take it out and give it to the customer and start our next order. My cake decorator Jalen was out of town this weekend, but before she left, she made sure that we were really well stocked on cakes. But it just so happened I had this really nice lady named Sarah come in today, and she needed one of the only cakes that we sold out of. So I went to work and I made 5 small round cookies and creamery. Each cake gets 6 Oreo halves dipped in chocolate, and then they all get a layer of fluffy white frosting, as corporate likes to call it. I'm gonna smooth that all out. Add our 6 pieces so we know where to put our Oreos when we top them. Then we're gonna pick it up and add our chocolate shavings to the side. Then we're gonna grab them out of the blast and it's time to top them. Each cake is topped with 6 rosettes and then 6 Oreo halves on top of those. And then we're gonna write Happy Birthday Connor on the one for Sarah. I haven't been home since Christmas, and Father's Day is coming up soon, so I decided to bring my dad home his favorite ice cream. This weekend we have a lot of cakes to make, because it's Father's Day on Sunday, and then also people still have birthdays. This is a custom cake with sweet cream ice cream, raspberries, and lots of graham cracker pie crust. We chop that all together, and we're gonna mix it up, and then we're gonna scoop out half of it and put that in the bottom of the pan. Once that's smooth, we can add our first layer of cake, and then our mid layer. They chose yellow cake and a strawberry mid layer. We're gonna smooth out that second layer of ice cream, and we're gonna add the second layer of cake. Then it's gonna chill in the blast. Once it's frozen, we're gonna take it out and depan it. Anyone else see that heart on top? They chose pink frosting, so we're gonna make some of that and then put it on top of our cake and smooth it all out. Then we're gonna add graham cracker pie crust. I chose to do it all the way up on the side on this one. Then I added a nice white border. Then we're gonna write happy birthday for them in red. A lot of you didn't know we made cakes here, so I'm sure even more of you don't know we make cupcakes. Remember those scraps that I made the other day? Well, we use those for cupcakes too. This is one of the only times I don't follow the rules. I don't put little pieces like this in there. I break all of mine up into smaller pieces and then make a new piece of cake out of it. Once it freezes, you can't even tell the difference, and you get more cake that way, and we waste less cake that way. So in my eyes, it's a win-win, and it's worth breaking the rules for. Today we're making a variety pack of cupcakes. There are 2 with yellow cake, 2 with red velvet, and 2 with chocolate. Each one of those will get a layer of fudge on them, and then they'll each get their respected ice cream. The yellow ones get sweet cream, the red velvet ones get cake batter, and the chocolate ones get chocolate. Once we scoop those out, we're gonna go put them in the blast and get nice and hard. Then we're gonna put our 21 tip on and begin to frost. The key to making nice cupcakes is letting the frosting fall and using your whole body to move around. The bigger muscles you use, the smoother your ice cream will be. Then we top them and then close the lid. This guy named John called me yesterday and asked for a last minute ice cream cake for his dad for Father's Day. He said his dad liked pretty plain things, but he does like pecans, so we decided to go with French vanilla ice cream with pecans mixed in, with yellow cake, and then mid layer of caramel. Usually all of our cakes are made with 2 layers of ice cream and 2 layers of cake. Since this cake wasn't due to the next day, I used fresh ice cream to make this one. I let it freeze in the blast overnight, and then I took it out of the pan, and then I began to decorate it. We were sticking with the plain theme that he wanted to go for with the cake, so we used white frosting, and then just some graham cracker on the bottom and some pecans on top. I'm not sure why, but lately I've been into the shell border style on the top and the bottom. I like to do it nice and big, and then I wrote Happy Father's Day in red, which is my favorite color to write in. It's just classic and looks good on every cake. Shout out to all the dads out there. Thank you. We appreciate you. My family loves ice cream just as much as I do, so I had to go visit my friend Brittany at the Cold Stone I worked at in Michigan to get my family ice cream. If you're not new around here, you know who this one's for. And then Brittany is making a Mud Pie Mojo for my mom. This is sweet cream with fudge for my grandpa, and then a chocolate devotion for my other grandpa. And then Brittany's making vanilla light with strawberries for my 2 grandmas. Then since I'm turning 24, I had made this old man ice cream for myself, banana bread batter with graham cracker, and then butter pecan with pecans. And then Brittany made coffee with chocolate shavings for my sister. It was fun catching up with Brittany and the owners of the old store I used to work at. It's day 6, and since you did so well on day 3 making sweet cream, we're gonna make a harder flavor today. This is gonna be fudge truffle. We pour our chocolate base into a Cambro, add some dark chocolate cocoa powder, some secret ingredient, and a bunch of fudge. Now we're gonna mix that all together. Once that's all combined pretty well, we're gonna pour that in the machine. Then you wanna make sure you pour the rest of that chocolate mix in too. Now we're gonna flatten the bladder out on the table and squeeze the rest of it out. And then press the cone button on the machine to start it. And then once the machine beeps after about 8 minutes, you hit the extract button and the ice cream's gonna come out. Now remember, every batch makes 2 pans, so make sure you have 2 pans ready. Then write the name and the date and let it chill in the blast. Today we're making a founder's favorite. First we need to scoop out our sweet cream ice cream and then put that on the stone. Once it's on the stone, we're gonna chop it down, add 2 figure-8s of caramel and 2 figure-8s of fudge, and then some pecans and a brownie. And we chop the toppings down, and then we're gonna fold it together. Once we have that all folded together, we're gonna hug it into a ball. And then once we have the ball, we're gonna get our spade nice and wet, and throw it up into our cup. I'm taking this home, so I'm going to put a lid on it, but make sure you scrape off your spot when you're done. This video is to help me test out a few gadgets I bought yesterday. So in the future, I should be doing some cool stuff. It's been really busy so far this weekend, and it's only Saturday morning. Today, I had to make a few batches of strawberry ice cream. I actually barely had a chance to even capture this on film. I wanted to record a more exciting flavor, but strawberry is what we got today. We need to write on our parchment paper, and then we're gonna tuck in our ice creams. Because you guys know they gotta go take their nap in the blast. It's been so hot outside, honestly, I could go take a nap in the -20 blast. Now it's time for our next batch. We're gonna pour in our flavoring, and now we're gonna pour in our sweet cream. And then once we pour all that in, we're gonna take our bladder, we're gonna squeeze the rest out, put it on the table to scrape the rest out. Once we get all that in there, it's time to start up the machine and make our next batch. Then it's time to extract it. If you watched the live earlier, you saw that I got a phone call and then I ended up having to get off. Well, that was because two things happened. I got this cake order for a little petite cake, and because Anthony came in, it was time for me to train him. They wanted chocolate ice cream with M&Ms in it and then chocolate cake. So I hurried and made that, and then they wanted me to put ganache on the outside, which I was thankful for because you guys have been asking for a ganache cake and I haven't had any in a while. And then sprinkles on the side, which the sprinkles and the dark color of the ganache look great together. And then they wanted some M&Ms on top, and then all they wanted me to write was number 7. And that was it. So a big request I've got a lot lately is for me to mix a bunch of random things into ice cream, but I'm not one to just make ice cream to waste, so I had to wait for an order. Well, today we got one. We were open, so we had to do it fast. So if you can tell, I'm kind of frantic and the camera's going everywhere, but it's because I had all these toppings to add to this ice cream and I had to do it before somebody walked in. So I had my coworker Maddie on lookout for the door, and she was also reading me all however many toppings there are in this. I'm not sure if you know how Cold Stone works yet, but you get one topping for free and everything after that is extra. So usually at most people only get like 3. But for some reason when people order online, they get crazy and order like 15 toppings. Yesterday Kyla took another cake order and it was due for this morning. So she built the cake yesterday and then I decorated it last night. So I had to pan the cake and then let it chill in the blast to harden up. Then I got my ganache and chocolate shavings ready. And then we're gonna wake it up from the blast. Then we're gonna coat it in ganache. You wanna swipe off the excess off the top so it doesn't drip off later. Then we're gonna do our chocolate shaving side crumb. If you haven't noticed, I kinda have my own style of doing cakes by now. This is one of my favorite ways to decorate them. I think it just looks nicer than what they ask us to do. Then we're gonna take some ganache, we're gonna add some water to it, and if you mix it up, it starts to make it thick so we can pipe it. I know it doesn't really make sense, but that's how it works. I'm pretty sure it's due to the cornstarch and oil in it reacting with the water. That's my best guess. But either way, it looks really nice and tastes good. And they didn't want any writing on top. I hope you like chocolate. For today's cake, we're gonna use soft cake batter ice cream. When you use soft ice cream, it saves you time and effort, and then also it tastes better. Once we've extracted all the ice cream, we're gonna get our cake pan and put some in there. We're gonna add our toppings. They wanted brownie, cookie dough, and Reese's. Mix that up and then add our first layer of cake, and they wanted a mid layer of fudge. We're gonna smooth that fudge out, add more ice cream and more of our mix-ins. And then the last layer of cake. That goes in the blast, usually overnight, and then we're gonna take it out of the pan. Then it's time to frost it. They chose white frosting with chocolate shavings around the side. So once we smooth out all the frosting, we're gonna lift it up and then add our chocolate shavings. With this one, I wanted to go with a classy yet messy look. So I added some rosettes, sprinkled some chocolate shavings, and crumbled up some cookie dough on top. Then we're gonna write happy birthday in pink. Make sure you add exclamation mark. And the ice cream machine is beeping, so we're gonna go get that. We need to hit the extract button and let the ice cream out. day 5, and you've been practicing throwing ice cream all day, but now you have a customer, and they said they have a nut allergy. So we're gonna go get fresh ice cream from the back, and then we're gonna go get fresh spades. We're gonna scoop out the size that they want, and then we're gonna put that in a clean Canberra. You wanna make sure to let them know we can't guarantee there's no cross-contamination, but we're gonna try our best. Now we're getting their toppings: cookie dough, almonds. Now we're gonna chop that all together in our Canberra. It just so happened that their nut allergy is to peanuts, so they can actually eat almonds, since almonds are tree nuts. And now we're gonna push that into a ball, and now we're gonna go put it in the cup for them. And that's how you make an ice cream for someone with an allergy. Hey, don't worry, I didn't forget. It is Tuesday. This is a throwback to my childhood. This is what I always got at Cold Stone. Cake batter with cheesecake and cookie dough. And then I always had to put it in a waffle cone. It's also even better if you mix it in. So here's today's Tiny Tuesday. Cake batter and cheesecake with cookie dough.